We're live. Countdown. Hello, I'm Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. And I want to talk about the state of Florida right now at the moment because I had no idea that that Disney had its own municipal government until this past week. And tell you the truth, I kind of have a problem with any corporation to begin with having its own municipal government. As a general rule, I do. But I have a bigger problem when people like Governor Ron DeSantis decides to end the municipal government of Disney for the reasons that he ended the municipal government of the Disney corporations. In other words, with regard to the Don't Say Gay bill, basically, the Disney Corporation thinks it's wrong. He became a snowflake. These Republican types, and I hate to put it in these terms because it makes me sound like a hack. I'm not a Democrat, but these Republican types who claims, fuck your feelings, fuck your feelings, you liberals wanting a safe space, whatever. Well, you're demanding a safe space. Well, guess what? You just impose cancel culture on Disney. Selective outrage right there. That's what it was. And for what? Why did Governor DeSantis, why? Honestly, why did Governor DeSantis impose cancel culture and try to take away the municipal government, situation? Try to take away the position of Disney being a municipal government of his own. Why did he? What motivated him to do this? To go after and attack Disney? Well, it comes down to this. Optics. Cancel culture, the culture war. Optics. It goes down to don't say gay. They're wanting to sound like that only LGBTQ people are after your children. When there are no more or no less, guilty of that as straight people. There's no correlation between being gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender and being a pedophile, no more than it would be with a straight person. But what these people want to do is they want to make it sound like, oh, they're a bunch of perverts and they're trying to go and indoctrinate your children and groom them. They're trying to create a climate hysteria where they could go and almost create a lynch mob and carry the progress that's been made for LGBTQ community, the long strides that has been made. They want to go and travel it back to the 1980s and the early 1990s and shove the basically 10% of the population back into the closet. And that's what it comes down to. And that's exactly what Ron DeSantis, that's the kind of person he is. He's an old-fashioned style Republican. There was a time some of the Republicans were trying to give themselves a little makeover, and they're like, "Oh, we're libertarian or whatever." Ron DeSantis is one of those old-fashioned Kool-Aid drinking, not just gays are icky in his eyes, but they are just predators in his eyes. And here's the thing: I don't have kids. I don't even like children, But the thing about it is that that having all that said, you don't need a law for this sort of thing. Whether a teacher is gay or straight, you don't need a law. If a teacher, regardless of their sexual orientation, is, doing lewd things to kids, pornographic or fondling or what have you, you don't need a law for that. You stop that particular incident, but you do not go with legislation that specifically target. What if you change the optics and you have some kind of law that says, you need a law that goes and drive through African American neighborhoods to make sure that we can put a curb on crime. People will be like, that is fucking racial profiling. And that's what it is. It's not racial profiling. It's sexual orientation profiling. But it's the same thing. It is the same damn thing. And why is he doing this? Frankly, I don't believe that Donald Trump is going to run. All the liberals out there who worry about Trump derangement syndrome, don't worry. Don't worry about Trump. He's not going to run. He's fat. He's old. He's probably going to keel over. And the Republican Party are a little nervous about having him come back. There's still a lot of normie Republicans out there that they're bothered by him. And I think that they're probably going to try to find a way to keep him away. And sadly enough, I think that they found a man with Ron DeSantis, which is unfortunate because Ron DeSantis is everything that liberals project about Trump that might have been exaggerated, but it's actually true about Ron DeSantis. And so Ron DeSantis is really everything that is shitty about the George W. Bush presidency and everything that is projected about Donald Trump, all the true shit and stuff that's kind of exaggerated, that's really unpleasant, that's exaggerated about Trump. All that is projected in Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis, folks, is a dangerous man. And he is a dangerous man. So I have to go and let you know to watch out for him. And he's using this Disney thing also as a means to reach out to evangelical Christians as the foot soldiers of the Republican Party, as they are, to reach out, because you can't, if you're a Republican, you can't win an election without them. And what gets them going is the culture war. And I'm going to go back to why always do they go back to using the culture war. So that's what's going on with Ron DeSantis. And there's a correlation. And I'm going to go and pontificate for a moment here. Hold tight. Okay. I'm going to pontificate for a moment because I'm going to make a correlation. You heard me say Margaret Thatcher just a second ago. Margaret Thatcher, you've heard of her, the Prime Minister of the UK, a scorn in Great Britain. She coincided with the Reagan presidency. I'm going to go real quick about her because there's a connection. What Ron DeSantis did with Disney is what Margaret Thatcher did in the city of Liverpool in 1983. I will explain real briefly. There was a difference, though. It wasn't culture war bullshit like sexual orientation, but it was more like socialism versus Toryism. Basically, a Labor-dominated city council was in charge of the municipal government of Liverpool, and the Tories, the Conservative Party in the UK, won a massive landslide in the British 1983 general elections, so decisively that the British Labour Party under Michael Foot's leadership, unfortunately a good man that he should have been prime minister, a really good campaign manifesto that they had, but unfortunately it was the Labour Party was defeated. the juxtaposition to the massive landslide for the Conservative Party and the mandate of Margaret Thatcher was the city of Liverpool, which was still hardcore on the left-wing side of the ideological spectrum in the country. And so she declared war by eliminating the city government of Liverpool in the same way that Ron DeSantis eliminated the city government of Disney. So that's the correlation right there. And, instead of just sitting there trying to vilify LGBTQ, which wasn't an issue in the UK, the way, that wasn't an issue. What was the issue was trade unions and trade union militancy and the Labor Party, trying to keep the Labor Party in a defeated mode and trying to privatize and that sort of thing. And trying to go and copy the Reagan model in the United States. And the only good thing I will say about Margaret Thatcher is that the bitch did not Americanize the National Health Service, and that is probably she kept the National Health Service because she knew what would happen if she got rid of the National Health Service. The NHS, if it would have been gone, Margaret Thatcher would have been gone, and the Tories would have never been elected again. And because it is the most popular social service in Great Britain, even many conservatives think we're fucking insane that we do not have a national health service in the United States. So that's the correlation between Margaret Thatcher in the UK and Governor DeSantis in Florida. So so there you have it. Now let's go to Marjorie Taylor Greene. The trailer park trash from Northwest Georgia. She is even more of a whack job than Ron DeSantis. And she is more openly homophobic than he is. And she's also one of those types that wants to link pedophilia with the LGBTQ community. I mean, that's their thing to do now. That's their new tactic to try to reverse back the progress that's been made with the LGBTQ community. And I'm going to tell you, as a straight man, as an ugly straight man, I don't know anybody who is LGBTQ. I do not know anybody who is for pedophilia. If there is anybody within the community, they're an individual. I don't know about them. So, and here's the thing again. There are straight people who are pedophiles. This doesn't mean that every straight person is a pedophile. So if there's a homosexual or a lesbian is a pedophile, that doesn't mean that everybody who's a homosexual or a lesbian is a pedophile. It just means that individual is. So, but Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to vilify a whole group of people. I mean, she makes Jesse Helms look like Harvey Milk by comparison. I mean, that's how horrible Marjorie Taylor Greene is. And she claims that Disney enables pedophilia. Guess what? Marjorie Taylor Greene owns stock with Disney. So if Disney Corporation, enables pedophilia, I guess that must mean that Marjorie Taylor Greene also enables pedophilia. But wait, there's more. There is more. So if Marjorie Taylor Greene is enabling pedophilia, because that's what she claims that Disney enables pedophilia. So she owns stock with pedophilia with Disney. So by that by that logic, she's also contributing and enabling it. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, if your skanky ass is listening, maybe you should rethink about your stock with regard to Disney, if they are doing that. And if you don't, then maybe you should just shut the fuck up, really. But there's more to her hypocrisy. Because not only is she, if it's true that Disney is enabling pedophilia, which there aren't, but if it is true, well, guess who she pals around with? Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, who is an accused pedophile. She pals around with him. So I guess, I guess she must be okay with pedophilia, if that's what it means. Now, if she hears this, she's gonna be probably trying to cancel culture me for saying he's accusing me of enabling pedophilia. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, nobody would have to do that to you if you would have just kept your fucking mouth shut and stopped making baseless accusations about people. Stop calling people pedophiles when they're not. Stop calling people Satan worshipers when they're not. Stop calling people all kinds of names. Stop stalking your political opponents and trying to harass them, and just stop being a terrible person that you are. That's yeah, is that too much? No, who am I kidding? You are who you are. So that's what it is. So that's what it is. But when it comes down to this culture war bullshit, and the one thing I hate about this is I am outside the two-party system. There are Democrats that get angry with me because I criticize the Democrats too much. But there are Republicans who think that I make too many excuses for the Democrats. But here's the thing about the Republicans when it comes to the culture war, and this is just them when it comes to the culture war. They have nothing to offer other than tax cuts that primarily benefits the wealthy. Deregulation, more deregulations to basically, help out the businesses by making a workplace more unsafe for workers, at the behest of these companies. More union busting to make the middle class decline even more than they already are, to make sure that the wages go down and make sure that workers get less benefits and less rights at the workplace. To make sure that when people retire, that Social Security will not be there, or Medicare for them will not be there, because a lot of them are open about trying to get rid of it. Many of them. And I believe that most Republicans who are like your next door neighbor, your regular Republicans, I'm not vilifying them. They like their Medicare. They like their Medicare. They like their Social Security. Those who are lucky enough to have worked all these years in a union job, many of them like their union jobs. So here's the thing. Why the hell vote Republican in the year 2022? I'm not saying you have to vote Democrat. I can give you all kinds of reasons why pretty much 90% of the Democratic Party's garbage. 90% of the Democratic Party's garbage, but pretty much 99%, virtually 100% of elected Republicans are garbage. So honestly, this isn't the Republican Party of Dwight Eisenhower anymore, because Dwight Eisenhower was more of a socialist than Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden at their most woke. Think about it. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. Comment anyway if you disagree with what I have to say. And when you press like, it helps the algorithms. share the content. As the First Amendment absolutist, I encourage you to create your own platform and utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And until next time, I'm Willie Bragg. Remember, we have a class struggle we need to wage, and we're all Julian Assange. So there you have it. Music.